Good morning, MegaPodlings. Krazy Joe here, coming to you from outside the local AMC theater. As many of you know, I live in the Philadelphia surroundings. Not actually in the city, but, the Philly area. So growing up in this area, it's in the blood. We can't help ourselves. We love Rocky Balboa. We love him. He's a personal hero to all of us in this town. Even though he's a fictional character, we love him. And guess what? It's time for the premiere of Creed 2, the latest film in the Rocky franchise. So it's opening night. I got tickets. I got my refillable popcorn bucket. I'm excited. Let's go see some Creed. Haven't seen this movie yet. Still on the list. Just haven't found the time yet. Let's talk Creed 2. First of all, before we talk Creed 2, I think I should point out I am a huge fan of the Rocky franchise. Let me show you some of my Rocky collectibles. What you're seeing here is a reproduction of Rocky's statue, the famous statue that stands outside the Art Museum. I have a miniature reproduction of it. There is a little poster of Rocky 3 and a life-size Clubber Lang standee that I have hanging in my corner. Yeah, I'm a fan of these movies. As I stated from the beginning, when you grow up in this area, you kind of have to be a fan. It's kind of in the blood here. We love Rocky. They're not, certainly the Rocky movies aren't the only movies that were shot in the Philly area. You've got The Sixth Sense, you've got Unbreakable, anything M. Night Shyamalan did, you've got Mannequin. There have been a lot of Alfred Hitchcock's Marnie was shot in this area. A lot of great movies shot in here. Silver Linings Playbook. But I think the Rocky movies are the movies that are most just intrinsically linked to the Philadelphia area. When people think of Philadelphia and movies, they think Rocky. And let's be honest, there have been 7 of these movies. Creed 2 is the 8th. Creed 2 is the 8th one of these movies. There have been 7 prior. And I think they're all pretty good. The worst 2 in the franchise, the absolute worst 2, are Rocky 4 and Rocky 5. I think Rocky 4 is hands down the worst. Because there's not a lot of story there. It's mainly a music video. It's a total MTV movie. It's montage after montage after montage. And what is there is pretty dopey. Paulie gets a robot. The whole thing with the Russians flipping sides and cheering for Rocky, it's so corny. I still like it. I'm not saying it's not entertaining. It's a very entertaining movie, and I'm very entertained by it. But I'm just talking in terms of, if we're talking what's an actual good movie, Rocky 4 is by far the worst. A lot of people like to trash Rocky 5. Rocky 5, I think, is the second worst, but it's got a few things over Rocky 4. For one thing, it tries to tell a real story, whereas Rocky 4 is just montage after montage. I think there's maybe 20 minutes of movie in Rocky 4 when you cut out all the music montages. There's 20 minutes of movie. So Rocky 5 is actually a better movie, even though it's still bottom of the barrel of the Rocky movies. It's just moderately better than Rocky 4 because it's trying to tell a story and it's trying to bring it back to its roots, make it a little more grounded, more like Rocky 1. You can see where the story is trying to go. It just doesn't quite work. I always say it's a noble failure. It's an attempt to ground the series again that just doesn't pan out. Rocky 6 is sort of like a Rocky 5 do-over. Rocky 6 accomplishes what Rocky 5 was trying to do. So I have a lot of respect for Rocky 5 because I see where they were trying to go with it. They just didn't quite get there. So anyway, I like all these movies to varying degrees. The best being the original, Rocky 2 and Rocky 6 and Creed probably being the best of the sequels. Rocky 3 and 4 being the most fun of the sequels, but also the most cartoonish. So, there's varying degrees, but I like them all. So I was very excited. I was very excited for Creed 2. A little worried because like Rocky 6 and Creed, back, there was about 10 years between them. But as the last two films in the franchise, they were great. They were great. They were two of the better sequels to Rocky 6 and Creed. So then we hear Creed 2 is going to bring back Ivan Drago and be about the son of Drago versus the son of Apollo Creed. That caused me a little bit of worry, because Rocky 4 is a very cartoonish movie, and I thought, like, oh God, are we going to go back to that, cartoonishness of Rocky 4, which I think is very entertaining, but I'm not even sure it would work this day and age. I think it's very much an 80s movie. I don't think you could take that movie out of the 80s and have it work. The movie works, man. Creed 2 is a much better film than Rocky 4. It's a worthy sequel to Creed. It's a worthy, because Rocky's not the main character anymore. I lump them all together and call them the Rocky movies, but this is Adonis Creed's story now, just as Creed was. Rocky is now the supporting player. Adonis Creed is the main character. So you have to look at this movie from kind of two viewpoints. How is it as a Rocky film, and how is it as a Creed film? So it really works on both levels. Adonis Creed is a very likable character, and Michael Jordan is terrific in the role. Tessa Thompson is great. They have great chemistry together. So all the new characters that we're meeting in the Creed-verse, they're all winners. They're all great characters. But then on top of that, we get to revisit Rocky characters. And there's some surprises in here. I'm not going to give it away, but there's a couple veterans of the Rocky franchise. Now, you all know Dolph Lundgren's in it. That's not a secret. But there's a couple cameos from other Rocky actors. There's two of them. And it works as in the effect that it's nostalgic, and if you're a child of the 80s like me, or a fan of the franchise, you're going to appreciate that nostalgia. But it also advances Rocky's story as well as Adonis Creed's. I like this movie. I really like this movie. I'm going to tell you the only thing that would have made this movie better, it needed Bill Conti's music. Bill Conti, the musical score by Bill Conti, is a staple of the Rocky films, and this movie does not have it. Creed 1 didn't have it either. It was missed there too. And Rocky 4 didn't have it either. Rocky 4 had a score by, I never remember these things when I'm on camera. I can't remember the guy's name now. And that's a little, I got to be able to remember these things. The guy who did Transformers the movie. Why can't I think of his name? And I'm going to think of his name as soon as I turn off the camera. That's the worst part. But yeah, all three of those movies, Creed 2 and the two movies Creed 2 is a sequel to, Rocky 4 and Creed 1, all three of them lack a Bill Conti score, and they really need it. And the best parts are when you do get the strands, musically, the best parts are when you get the strands of Rocky's theme, dun, 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 and it's like, okay, that's what we want. You just get Bill Conti. Get Bill Conti. You're not going to do any better than Bill Conti, and they haven't. But in any event, I recommend Creed 2. If you're a fan of these films, if you're a fan of the Rocky films, go see it. If you're a fan of Creed 1, go see it. This is a winner. I'm digging it. I got nothing else to say. Go see it. Go see Creed 2. What are you waiting for? Turn the camera off. Your YouTube. Stop your YouTube. Get out. Go see Creed 2. This is the most enthusiastic review I'm giving a movie in, I think, a long time. I don't remember the last time I enjoyed a movie this much, but and the good ones are just going to keep coming. I haven't seen The Grinch yet. I mean, I don't know that The Grinch is great, but I want to see it. I haven't seen The Grinch yet. I haven't seen Crimes of Grindelwald yet. I want to see that. And Wreck-It Ralph is coming out this weekend. So, I mean, we're in the movie season. They're coming. They're coming fast and furious. So, who knows? Who knows where Creed 2 will fall when all these holiday films are out and we look at them all and can see the big picture. But right now, I'm enthusiastically recommending it. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them bitches, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander Adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.